15-4 in their last 19 games, played themselves into a wild card spot, and they take on the New York Mets tonight. How you doing, Taylor? Are you doing as well as your Cubs are doing?
I'm doing just as great as my Cubs. Seeing the Cubs take 2 of 3 from the Braves this weekend made me realize there might be more to this Cubs team than meets the eye. Maybe we're not just going through a hot streak. Maybe we do have the offense that we can get some things done if we make it into the playoffs.
You know, the Chicago Cub players admitted the same thing after, in stating that it gave them a lot of confidence to beat the Atlanta Braves. They said, you know what? The Braves are a really good team. We just beat them in a series. If we play our baseball, we can compete with anybody in Major League Baseball. They're starting to buy in and starting to believe in themselves. I know you had a great weekend, Taylor. I saw you did some boating. Chicago Cubs keep winning. Spent some time on the lake.
I did. I made a fun bet, too, with my friend Ethan. We're betting on the Chicago Bears over under on the total wins for this season. I'm on the under. He's a big Chicago sports fan as well. He was born in Wrigley, so he's a big Cubs fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. He's a Bears fan. He is insistent that the Bears are going to go over 7.5 total wins this season. So we made a bet that whoever loses the total wins bet for the Bears has to get 7.5 tattooed on them somewhere. So I hope it's not me.
Oh, that's a pretty bold bet. Anytime you're talking about ink, Taylor.
I know.
Anytime you're talking about ink.
It's 7.5. Like, what do you say? I have 7.5 children? Like, what do you tell
7.5
people?
because that's the win total.
Well, I get it. No, it's just, if I saw 7.5 on somebody, Gabe Ink, what would you think? You go, hey, this is a prison tattoo? Like, what's the deal with 7.5? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think it's an important number to them. Well, you can get it. You didn't say how big the tattoo has to be, right? It can be minuscule.
No,
so you
it can be very small. We made the rules that it can be very small. So it will probably be, if it's being very tiny.
I think you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It's going to be a little bit of a sweat job. But you're going to make it. Shout out to our AM radio affiliates. I am Gabriel Morency. 13-6 right now for the Los Angeles Dodgers. We've got a football score going on at Petco. San Diego, we're up 5-0 early. The Dodgers exploded for 13 runs, 8 in the fourth. They put up another 5 in the sixth. San Diego have just scored a run. It's 13-6 right now. We'll keep our eye on that. We've got a lot of baseball to break down. These games are starting to get pretty important right now. Less than 2 months left in the regular season. And there's a lot of teams that are still in the mix in both the American League and the National League as far as the wild card is concerned. And if you go on a hot streak, you can play yourself back into this thing like we've seen the Chicago Cubs do. The Toronto Blue Jays had a big weekend in Boston over the weekend, and Davis Schneider made his Major League Baseball debut. We were on the air the other night when he hit a home run in his first ever Major League Baseball at bat, and it just continued. Cam knows all about Davis Schneider. I don't know if you've seen this dude, Taylor. Well, he looks like Super Mario. What would be a way to describe him? He looks like the type of dude that's like works in the stadium. Like if you walk past him as a player,
you're right. Like a drywaller.
Yeah, okay. Like, what does he do? Oh, he's the electrician. He's a cool dude. He's the electrician for the stadium.
Yeah, he fixes
what's up,
and
Davis?
walls.
How you doing, buddy? Right, so one of these dudes, like he's a short dude. He's got a mustache. He's all ripped. He's kind of cross-eyed. He's got glasses. And he was selected like 849th overall, Taylor, type of deal, all right? And he's one of these dudes. It took him forever to get to the big leagues. He gets to the big leagues, and he sets an all-time record. He's got 9 hits, 2 home runs in his first 3 games of his career. Nobody's ever done what he did. He couldn't miss. It was like they were throwing a medicine ball at him. It's like a beach ball. He was just like, poof. Everything was poof. The guys in the dugout were like, go and do it again. Do it. Can you do it again? And they couldn't believe it, what he's doing. And I don't know if you guys saw the glove that he was wearing. Dude, he's wearing a glove that he found in the park. You know, like big leaguers all have great gloves. He's got this glove. It's all skinny, Mizuno, beaten down. It's like a softball glove. He found it in a park in which he gives baseball lessons in the off season, in the lost and found. And he's wearing it in big league games. Unbelievable. I'm taking his prop tonight. I have to. Time Decisions continues. I am Morency. We've got more soccer tonight, and thank God, because we got baseball going on, but this Leagues Cup has been absolute insanity. Messi did it again last night, except now he's really just stepping it up a notch. Last night, the drama was, first off, he scored a goal in the first 10 minutes of a game, 3 games in a row now, which is pretty crazy. Just from a prop perspective alone, it pays a lot of money. Will there be a goal in the first 10 minutes? And shout out to our boy Carmine Bianco, who joined us last week and said, guys, not only do you bet Messi to score goals every time he plays, you take him to score a goal in the first 10 minutes of the game. If you can get that prop, if not, you just take will there be a goal. But last night, they're down 4-2. And I came this close to tweeting out. I was going to say, well, Inter Miami's run is done. 4-2 in the 80th minute at FC Dallas. Dallas were playing well. We're in control, up 4-2. Boom. Messi sets somebody up in the 80th minute. It's 4-3. Boom. Free kick in the 85th minute. Messi scores. And then he scores again in the penalty kicks. And then an 18-year-old kid on Miami wins it on penalty kicks on the final penalty kick. And Miami are off to the quarterfinals. They'll play the winner of Houston and FC Charlotte tonight. I've got a same-game parlay for that game. But let's get to some baseball. Taylor Mathis always has a full slate of Major League Baseball best bets. Taylor, when you looked at the card tonight, did you like it? Did games jump off the page at you? Did props scream at you? And you're always selective, but what did you think about the card tonight?
I hate the card tonight. I think there are too many games that are too many close calls for me, really. And looking at props like I usually do, there weren't a ton that I loved, especially in the K-prop market. Couple unders I am liking and I'm riding with tonight, and a few money lines that I'm going to go with as well, but not a whole lot that was really jumping off at me that I had to take within these games.
There are a lot of good teams playing against each other, or very evenly matched teams playing against each other. We can start off with the Marlins and the Reds. You've got Perez and Williamson on the hill here tonight. To me, it feels like there could be some runs in this baseball game. Cam, you like to bet on Reds games. You like to bet on Marlins games. What are you doing with this baseball game?
2 of the coldest teams in the league. The Cincinnati Reds are like the New York Mets. They're fading hard. They've lost 6 in a row. The Marlins have lost 4 in a row. But I'm with Taylor. I have a same-game parlay with this game, and I go, you know what? It's another dumpster fire. Bring in Cam. I'm taking the fish. I think they have a better pitcher on the mound with Perez, and I think they're going to take care of business. I think Williamson is a worse pitcher, and Cincinnati right now is fading hard. Bigger game for the Marlins. Are small favorites here. Here's my same-game parlay. We'll do with this real quick, nice and simple to plus money. Miami Marlins win, and Perez, I did the alternate strikeouts over 5. I assume he'll get like probably 6 or 7 tonight, and that plays plus 102. 100 gets you 202. I'm not screwing around, Renzi. I was going to add some stuff. I'm like, you know what? It's plus money already. Miami to win. Perez 5 strikeouts. Go fish.
I hate to start off the week like this. I like your Perez strikeout look there. I think he goes over the 6.5. But listen, these 2 teams are both in big trouble right now. Something's got to give. Somebody's got to win the baseball game. As you guys mentioned, the Reds have lost 6 straight. The Marlins have lost 4 straight, 6 of their last 7, and 16 of their last 21. So the Marlins have actually had a lot more long-standing pattern here. I think the Reds get it done on their home field tonight. It's far from some sort of best bet of the night, but we're here to bet, and we're here to give our opinions. I actually will play the Reds tonight in a battle of failing teams, Taylor. Give me the Reds tonight.
Interesting. I'm riding with Cam. I'm going to take the fish on the money line to get it done for that dire win. They've got Yuri Perez starting, giving them the pitching advantage. On the season, Perez has a 2.36 ERA in 11 starts. Perez has a 4-pitch arsenal that consists of a changeup that is yet to be hit in the major leagues and a fastball that averages nearly 98 miles an hour. Plus, the Marlins offense has been great against lefty pitchers, ranking 3rd in runs created plus. Today, the Fish get Reds rookie southpaw Brandon Williamson. Williamson struggling this season, not getting the same start that Yuri Perez has. He's got not great command, and his hard hit rate and walk rate are both soaring. think that the Fish get it done. They also have the bullpen advantage, so Marlins on the money line.
I love the Marlins tonight. Yeah, I'm with you. Taylor. I love the Marlins tonight as well. I think we have a huge pitching advantage. I don't know about the total in this baseball game, and I expect Perez to do very, very well. It's tough. Like we're betting on a team that is really, really struggling right now. You know, you don't want to say, hey, four in a row, and they're on the road. But I love everything that you said about this game. I think they get to Williamson hard. I wouldn't be surprised if the total went under the number. I know Morency was talking about that as well, but I see the Marlins scoring the bulk of the runs tonight.
I'm going to go run in the first inning. Run in the first inning. I'm not going to play the total. The total's a little high for me, but I'm going to go run in the first inning. And I'm getting the Reds at plus 120 right now. FanDuel's got the Marlins minus 142. Reds are plus 120. Minnesota Twins and the Detroit Tigers. Lopez minus 172. Pretty big price, Cam, here. Total is 9.5. Kind of a scrap heap special, this game, Taylor. I don't know if you just decided to dance over this one.
I said I looked at AL Central Twins, Tigers, and I said to myself, we're going to pass on
that. Yeah, pass, even for me. I got one dumpster fire with the Marlins and Reds is enough, please. Can't have too much arson in the neighborhood. I'm done now. Gabe, I just went right by that game. It's Detroit or nothing, and I'm not betting them.
For me, it's Minnesota, but it's just too pricey. There's no need to do it. We don't need to play every game. I don't think Detroit are very good, and I know they're not very good. They're 49-62, right? So they're not a very good team. They're 3-7 in their last 10. Minnesota are starting to run away with this division. I think Minnesota are going to beat them. I just don't want to lay that type of big number. We've got Strider on the hill here tonight. So, Cam, any play for you? You passing or are you staying on this game? Taylor, nothing for you, Minnesota and Detroit. What are you doing with the game?
No, leaving it alone. Yeah. See ya.
Man, I might play Minnesota just out of principle here.
A lot of juice.
It's 72 cents.
Listen.
You know what? I'm taking the Reds, though, at plus 120, too. I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm looking at who I think is going to win the game. I think the Reds win the game. They're plus 120, fine. I think the Twins are going to win the game, fine. Now, I can't say the same thing about the Atlanta Braves, Taylor, at minus 330 with Strider on the hill. Remember we were talking last week about how sharp these strikeout props are. He's the classic case of this. They set it at 9.5, and he generally gets 9 or 10 or 11 type thing. It's sort of like right there. I'm going to bite the bait tonight. I'm going to take a same-game parlay with Strider over 9.5 and the Braves to win the game. And I know he's either going to get to 10 or 11 or he's going to get right to 9. I sort of get that going in. And you doing anything with this game, Taylor, tonight?
I'm not, just because the run line and the money line for the Braves are both way too juicy for me. And the K-prop on Spencer Strider is right there. I honestly lean a little bit more towards the under, I think, than the over. He has hit this over in 4 out of his last 5, and it's I don't know, too close for me. It's right on that line. Pittsburgh does have the 4th worst K rate over the last 30 days against righties, though. So maybe he does go to 10.
He's striking out 12 tonight.
For me. You think?
He's striking out 12.
Right. Oof, I'm like right at that 10 mark. I feel like
it's high.
Might get to, but
it's high. It's high for a reason. It's high for a reason.
I put this. I gave this last night on Sports Rage, same game parlay. I said Strider and the Braves to win. I said the number will probably change. Last night on Sports Rage, it was plus 175. Now it's plus 145. So I was right. It was better to get it in last night. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to put that play in. Jonas, we got because actually I need them. I have that bet. I have $1,000 on the win 92. I don't know if they're going to get.
I can't cash it out either. I want like if they get to a number, I'm like I might not want to deal with this anymore. But I'm with you, Gabe. We have the same bet.
You can't cash out these things. LA Dodgers are plus 132 against the Atlanta Braves tonight. We talked about this number. Gavin Stone on the hill here tonight. He's only started once. He got lit up in that start. This is a game, and Taylor, I'm more of an under baseball bettor. I don't really like, because betting on the overs, you need things to go well. I'm more of a pessimist. Right. So I'm like, I don't think things are going to go well for them. But different sports, I bet, like basketball, I only bet overs. Football, I bet overs. Baseball, I'm not a big over bettor. But the Dodgers tonight against the Braves, I get the feeling there's going to be some runs put up on the board in this game. The fact that the Dodgers are plus 132 right now, I know the Braves are so good. It's a tough little stretch for the Dodgers going into St. Louis and Atlanta back-to-back like this. But I think the Dodgers at this price can't be passed up. I'm going to take the Dodgers and hope for the best here, Cam, with the Dodgers at plus 132. And I think this is a high-scoring game. I think it goes over the 9.5, and the odds makers know it's going to be high scoring because they made it 9.5.
Exactly. Like why
they're trying to bet you? They're trying to scare you off the over, bro.
You're damn right they are. Yeah, they sure are. It's over, nothing for me. I'm not sure if the Dodgers are going to win, but as you said, Morency, you're getting a great team at a plus 132 price. Morton's pretty damn good. Braves are a very good baseball team at home, but I do like the total. I agree with you. I think we get over 9.5 runs.
Can't pass the Dodgers up at this price. I'm in. All right, so we'll keep this thing rolling. Now we're into Detroit and Kansas City. Yeah, this is a hard pass for me on this one, Taylor.
Hard pass for me as well.
Yeah,
I like the Royals with the wedding singer's been good in his last couple starts. Small play, Lorenzen, you never know what you're going to get, but Singer, 1 earned run, 2 earned runs. I know he could be a gas can. He could, like, when he implodes, he blows up real good, but he's been better lately. And his ERA's gone from like 10 down to 5.5, 6. So he's obviously figured something out. Small lean to the Royals, Gabe, but the Tigers are a gritty baseball team. That's I haven't bet it yet, but it would be Kansas City for me.
There's certain games that I look at on the board, and then I just sort of skip. I'm like,
that's insane.
That's what I probably.
I look, I'm like, I'm not going to put any thought into this.
I think I'm going to pass that AL Central game right up.
Yeah, I'm a lover of the AL Central. That's where I live.
There's a saying, though, right? And we don't always practice it too well, but there's a saying. They need to set numbers for every game. We don't need to bet every game.
Yeah, but we do, Gabe. Most of the time.
But you just can't help yourself.
I do.
I got to tell you. No, looking at this, I got to say, I get Singers okay and stuff, but there's no way in hell the Royals can be favored against anybody.
That's kind of what I'm saying with the total in the Dodgers game. They're trying to scare you off, going, "Ooh, KC against Detroit is actually a better game."
Though 709.
I know, but take a look at his last 2 starts. He's been amazing. 1 earned run in 6, and I think 1 or 2 in 7. He's figuring something out. Just saying.
Or he's due.
But KC are terrible. Like they've lost 7 of their last 9 games.
I feel. I used to go to court with Dave Sherapan and Gabe. Now you're the other. You're the other attorney.
She's the voice of reason.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm walking in as a defense attorney, like I got a bad briefcase and papers out the side. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know why.
I'm the Royals.
I don't know why, but just by a chance, I have a quarter right here. I have a coin. I was gonna, and I actually thought This game, you might as well flip a coin.
Flip
Actually, have a coin.
Tails never fails. Give me the Royals.
All right. So heads is Royals, tails is Tigers.
No. Tails is Royals. Tails is Royals.
Tails is Royals?
Yeah.
Tails it is. Royals.
Oh!
Get it? I'm betting on the coin.
There
Give
it
me
is.
some lottery numbers during the break.
That's some expert analysis right there.
Sure is. Points.
Baseball board right now. We'll get into the NBA game as well. So the Detroit Tigers and the Kansas City Royals, a game I don't want any part of. The Houston Astros and the Milwaukee Brewers, Christian Javier and Corbin Burns on the hill here. This is a lower total of 7.5 tonight. Cam, you going to be betting this game? Astros and Brew Crew.
No, it's too lucrative for me, so I'm going to pass. I think you and Taylor, this is the penthouse game. You guys can tell me what we're going to do. These
teams are too good for Cam Taylor. He doesn't like betting on games that involve good teams.
Good teams.
Like
that's my
teams.
point, though.
That's why he bets so many Blue Jay games.
Yeah, exactly. Blue Jays and Royals. Those are my team. Sprinkle of Tigers. Oh, it's true. I'm not even going to debate it.
Sorry. Go on, Taylor. Yeah, Astros, Brewers, Taylor.
I think I'm staying away from this game, though, too, because of how even keel both of these teams are. And you've got both these pitchers in Corbin Burns and Christian Javier. They have pretty close to identical records, 4-1 for Javier, 4-3 for Burns, 3.48 ERA for Burns, 3.25 for Javier. This game's a little too 50-50 for me. I would go to a coin toss for this game as well, just because of how good both of these teams are.
Corbin Burns is starting to pitch a lot better, actually.
Yeah.
He hasn't been terrible. People are criticizing, he's not the same. He's not the same. He was upset about the arbitration stuff. It clearly rattled him, but he's starting to settle down right now. And an interesting stat here, a number for people who like to bet the no run or will there be a run in the first inning. Christian Javier, 8 straight starts. No, he hasn't given up a run in the first inning.
Wow.
And Corbin Burns has been starting to dial things up a little bit. So this could be a nice no. I'm always a fan of that no more than the yes. I've sort of gotten away from the run in the first inning props. Do you like that prop, Taylor? Will there be a run in the first inning?
I love a good Murphy prop every now and then to put some money on. That some good stats that you threw there, so I like it.
Yeah, at that price. You know what? I'm going to say no in that game, and I think we just left it on the table. I'm going to go, will there be a run in the first inning? Yes, in this St. Louis game, if I'm not too late.
He got a few.
St. Louis. Oh, no. It went to live.
Oh.
Son of a...
I don't like the Brewers game. The more I think about it, Burns at home, pick 'em price, Milwaukee. I have a lean to the Brewers. We'll see how the night goes, but I think the Brewers can take care of business. We'll see. The Astros are a fantastic team, and Javier is a good pitcher, but you said it. Burns at home, guy's getting better all the time. I kind of lean Brewers.
I'm going to go under 7.5 in that game. It's a little high with these two pitchers with Burns and Javier. I think we're looking at a 3-2 style, lower scoring game. I'm just trying to get this parlay in. I didn't get it in with the St. Louis and Seattle. Let me get this in before St. Louis
better
score.
Get it in. Yeah.
I don't want the score. I'm going to be. No, I'm in here. It's spinning. Plus 107. Come on. It's spinning. It's in. Gotta wait for the spin to finish there, right? You know? All right. San Francisco and Minnesota. If you're just joining us right now, Taylor, you do have a play for this one. You're looking at over
yes.
tonight. And his strikeout
Yes,
props.
I do. I like Bailey over 5.5 strikeouts. I spoke to it earlier, but ERA 1.78, 3-0. He's had 4 consecutive games with 6 strikeouts, and he's got a San Francisco team that has a bottom 5K rate to right-handed pitchers. I think this one's a no-brainer here if you're riding this trend and if you like what you're seeing out of Ober. There were so many injuries early on to that Twins rotation they were worried about. Bailey Ober has really came in, and he has stepped it up for this team. So I'm going to ride with Ober in the over on 5.5 strikeouts.
You like the
San
Twins,
Francisco
are
terrible.
I like the Twins right now.
I like the Twins too. Like I don't want to lay juice, Morency, but that could be a parlay piece to plus money. You said it. The Giants suck. Like there's nothing,
they don't suck right now. In the last week and a half or so, like they're grinding.
They're getting
along.
better, but yeah, I think Minnesota's a decent ball team. They have a pinching advantage. I don't know. Cobb's all right, but you're right. Cobb's been pretty good. I don't know. I like Minnesota tonight, but I don't like the juice.
All right, let's move on to Miami and Colorado.
Oh,
Taylor, Cam's got a Miami problem, too. He likes to bet on the Marlins all the time. You betting on the Marlins?
I was just going to say, that's a big no for me with that game.
But this game, too, I'm looking at
I'm in rehab. I'm going to
no.
Marlins rehab. I'm going to pass, even with my boy Gomber pitching for Colorado. No, I'm not betting this game. I can't. I'm going to have to pass.
No, it's Anderson. Anderson for Colorado.
Really? Are you sure about
Chase
that?
Anderson.
I see Gomber. Huh.
It's Anderson.
Huh. Let me see. Yeah, it's
Look at it
Anderson.
tomorrow.
Wow, I just hit refresh. Yeah, no, you're right. I hit refresh. It said Gomber, and now it says Anderson. Okay. No. Continue.
Right, Boston and the Angels. Boston and the Angels. You bet in this game, Taylor?
I am. Boston right now is 500 through their last 10 games. And then on top of that, LA is coming off of a series win against the Twins. Despite the Angels being 10-16 against teams with winning records, I'm going to take LA on the money line here. The Angels have Jamie Barria starting his first game of the season for them. In 23 innings pitched, Barria's allowed just 16 hits and struck out 21. ERA just a 1.96. Barria has already faced the Red Sox earlier this season. He threw 2 scoreless and hitless innings. Plus, 65% of the public right now is riding with the Red Sox, yet I'm seeing the line move to minus 115 for LA, so I'm going to fade the public. Take the Angels outright to beat Boston in this one.
I get this game on TV. I've been seeing it being advertised all day, so I might have to get a piece of this as well. The Angels... Listen, the Angels are grinding, right? They're battling.
They are.
The one thing with the Angels, listen, every team takes every game seriously in baseball, but the Angels really do. Like the Angels almost too much because they have this big Ohtani thing hanging over them. Yeah, like they know they're going to lose Ohtani, but the question is when. Like if they're terrible, they might trade him. Right. And at least the thing is, the players on the Angels they understand it's a business and they understand. Right. And they're even open about it, like to a man. And they say, listen, he's got to do what's best for him. But all we can do is try to make this tough for him and or have a hell of a fun time on the way out here and make the playoffs on the way out. Right? And you know what I mean? So they're hell-bent. They understand every game counts for this team as far as the future is concerned. I don't know if it's too much pressure on them, but they're competing, Cam. They're 25-23 right now. The season hasn't fallen apart on them. They can still get better right now. Trout and Ohtani really haven't started to light it up offensively yet. They've been good, but not awesomely great or anything like that. And if you actually look at the playoff standings and the wild card, the Angels are 3 games out of a playoff spot right now. So, like, you know what I mean? They're not – the sky hasn't fallen on them yet or anything like that. Big series with Boston coming to town here. I do think the Angels are the play tonight.
Agreed. I like the Angels. I've always liked Barry, too, as a pitcher. I don't think he's that bad. Maybe the Angels with those bats can get to Hawk tonight. 9.5 total. I like the Angels in this spot. I think we're all in agreement. I think it's a nice number. It's almost a pick 'em, and the Angels, I think they can take care of business against the Red Sox tonight. Go Angels.
It's crazy to look and see the first place Texas Rangers. As it is now, the Houston Astros are a wild card.
Yeah,
Texas are in first place. Rolling along here. All right, and finally, in closing, we've got the Oakland Athletics and the Seattle Mariners tonight. Luis Castillo goes for the Mariners. Muller for the Athletics. They're minus 335 favorites. You can lay the minus 1.5 on the run line if you want. The total is 7.5. Taylor, are you going to do anything with this game? I put Seattle in that parlay with St. Louis.
Yeah. I am not doing anything with this game. No play for me.
Cam? Parlay material with the Mariners, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mariners parlayed with Cardinals. You can find another dance partner, too. But the run line's kind of problematic at minus 154, minus 1.5. I'd rather, find another dance partner and get this parlay to plus money or very low juice. So I'm just going to take Seattle in those parlays, Moretzi, and we'll start things off with the Cardinals.
How about this? The last 34 times that these two teams have played, Seattle have beaten them 26 of them. 26-8. Last 34. They're generally, that's the one good thing. Seattle will win games that they're supposed to. Seattle really haven't gotten on track yet. But they do this all the time. They're losing a ton of one-run games, and that's one of their problems this year. But they always hover around 500. They're kind of a disappointment, and then they sort of get hot as the season goes on. We're waiting for that stretch to begin. Maybe it starts tonight, but they do have Luis Castillo on the hill here. I think it's a run line game as well. We talk about the dominance. So Seattle, they played already this year. Seattle beat them 2-1, 7-2, and 5-3. I'm just going back here. 10-2, 5-1, 2-1, 9-5, 2-1. So the last 7 times, they're 5-2 at minus 1.5 as well. I think Seattle do roll Oakland tonight. All right, let's get into the NBA. Taylor, I know you've had about enough of the LeBron James love fest, news, reports, conversation about the king, LeBron James. Does it end tonight? Are the Denver Nuggets going to win this game tonight? What are you doing with this game?
Oh, what? The king? First, you got to talk about that game. That crown, I would just take it and I would go, I'm from Chicago. He's not the king. Michael Jordan is the king.
I will agree with you.
No, I can't even believe you would say that. No, I'm very over the LeBron James story. And with that being said, I'm sick of the narrative right now being that LeBron James can get the LA Lakers to be the first LA Lakers team ever to not be swept when they're down 0-3. I think the narrative needs to be that we're looking at the Nuggets here, and the Nuggets are going to make it to their first NBA Finals ever, and they're going to get their first sweep in the playoffs ever. I am all over Denver tonight, taking them on the money line. You know, people are saying that LA is going to take game 4 because this is about a pride game now. Now that you know you're most likely out of the series, this is about pride. There was no pride in game 3, 1, 2, none of it. I'm all over Denver. They've got it going on, and I don't think that LA has any answers for them at this point. I'm ready to see the Western Conference Finals be over.
Taylor Mathis calling the sweep, bust out the brooms. Bold. I think that Miami are going to sweep Boston tomorrow. I think we have a sweep in the East. I think Boston are going to be done tomorrow. But
gutless performance by the Celtics.
That was gutless. Like the Lakers wasn't gutless on Saturday. Denver's better. Good. Right? Denver just better. Yes. Right? It's not like, that was, you know.
This Boston performance
is a little different.
It's one of the worst. And I look at an NBA hit like a team that highly ranked, Morency. This is a joke. Like this is a straight up expansion team choke job. Like they should be ashamed. The coach Mazzulla. Oh, I guess I wasn't prepared. Like what are you doing? Like you're like, I can't believe these guys. Like they get smoked in their own. Like they're. I can't believe how bad we should have taken Miami at the start, Morency. Were they plus 420 in the series? Wish I did.
Yeah, this has been a good series, though, financially. We've been riding the Miami Heat through it. Agreed. I talked about it last night. We're 19-4 in this series. I had a 9-0, a 6-2, and a 4-2. In the 3 games. The Lakers and the Nuggets have been hit or miss. I was on the Lakers on Saturday night, but I did have the over of that game as well. I'm going to take the Lakers one last time here. If we lose, we lose. It is what it is. But I'm going to go down with the ship tonight if it happens with the Lakers, Cam.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to take one more shot at the ship, Morency. It's like, I think they can get it done today, and then Denver will finish off the job in Game 5. I'm with you. I reluctantly, we have futures on Denver, so it doesn't, you win tonight, but you got to win the next one. But I will take the Lakers with you tonight to get it done.
The thing is, it's not so much a play on the Lakers. I'm just sort of counting on Denver being flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe it's a leap of faith. We'll find out. First hour of the program. What do you got for us, Taylor, tonight?
Twin starter Bailey Ober over 3.5 Ks against the San Francisco Giants. Riding with the Angels on the money line against the Boston Red Sox. My last and final play in the MLB will be Jordan Montgomery starting for the St. Louis Cardinals over 5.5 Ks as well against the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, boy, the Cincinnati Reds have a 2-0 lead on the St. Louis Cardinals right now.
not the start we were looking for.
I just need the strikeouts. That's all.
Yeah. If you recall,
you're smart.
I am on. Listen, I did play the parlay, but if you recall, I said, let's go with run in the first inning in that game. So there it is, 2-0 right there. I expect there to be runs, and I wouldn't get too comfortable if I was the Reds either, or a Reds backer. The Cardinals can get back in this game.
Question. I know you're betting this under 20 soccer. What was Gambia heading into this game against Honduras? They're leading. They must have been a monster pooch, right? You see what I'm talking about? They're up 2-1.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's a good thing I didn't know this was going on. I probably would have. I
probably saved you a couple $100.
I got distracted. Yeah, Gambia and Honduras. I thought the action was done for the day, Cam. I didn't realize they were still playing.
Can I get plus 3.5 with Gambia? They're winning outright. Like, what the hell?
I don't know what they were, but I guarantee you Honduras were big favorites against Gambia.
Oh, you're telling me. We know that's fact. But they're like minus 600 or something at least. Like, that's
they're up 2-1 right now. All right, yeah. George Kurtz is going to join us in the 7 o'clock hour. We've got Coach James Young going to step up in the 8 o'clock hour, hit this NBA game. Taylor says, bust the brooms out. The Denver Nuggets are sweeping the Los Angeles Lakers. Get the Swifter. The Swifter special.
Swifter sweeper. Let's go.
Time for the sweep.
Bust it out. Thanks, Taylor.
Swifter's a great product. Yeah.
Most interesting games to me on the Diamond tonight are going to be the series starting with the Dodgers and the Braves. You've got two of the best teams in the National League going head to head. You got Charlie Morton on the mound and Gabe Stone there. That'll be a good one. I'm also looking at the Houston Astros and Brewers game as well. I think that will be another good one. You've got Corbin Burns on the mound, Christian Javier, two great pitchers, two teams at the top of their respected divisions as well. I don't have any specific bets that I like in either of those games, but those are the two most intriguing games that are on the slate to watch-wise for me today.
Dodgers and Braves are the best two teams in the National League, and they have been just consistently for the last couple of years, winning the national the National League, going against each other all the time in the National League Championship Series. The Braves have gotten the better of the Dodgers as of late, 6-2, especially in Atlanta. The Dodgers are 2-6 in their last 8. They've got Stone, who has sunk like a stone in his one start so far this year. Yep. Kind of a tricky spot for the Dodgers tonight, but I'll tell you what, guys, it's very rare you're ever going to get the Dodgers in this price range plus money like this. And anytime you put that offense on the field, they got a chance of winning a game. It's Stone versus Morton tonight. Dodgers are plus 132 right now at FanDuel. I'll share some of the picks on the other side, but I think this Texas Ranger-Pittsburgh Pirate game is worth a look and worth betting on. The Texas Rangers, one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. See if we can go back to back here. Charles Schwab, baby. Let's go.
Charles Schwab. What did Schwab do for Gabe? A lot. If we hit another winner this week, I can tell you that.
Damn right.
It was funny, Morency. Right. I fueled up an account and it was weird. And I see this thing and they go, oh, you have a $115 free bet. I'm like, this is great. Like not even $20, $50. Okay. Click, but not like you. I'm just happy to get something out of the deal on Sunday. But man, what a pick by you at the start. And I'll tell you, golf's fun, Morency. You can hit these top 10s, top 20s. You hit one, boom, you're playing with house money. One day you're going to hit 100-to-1 one on $100, and then you'll be really happy when you got 10 dimes in your pocket.
Well, you hit
good feeling.
You hit the we hit the Scotty Scheffler top 20. That was an easy one too. That boost one. I cashed that.
Best boost.
That was another $160 on top. I had a good day with the golf. It was like, this guy, I got like $1,300 for like $150 I put in, and then Taylor, we rolled it over on the NASCAR All-Star race, and I hit that. I only took one driver. Kyle Larson. Yeah. I'm like, Kyle Larson, plus 650. Kyle Larson wins. Boom. Yeah, from the golf.
You're in the zone.
To one cam and then a plus 650 in a NASCAR. I was loving
it.
And then we took the Miami Heat last night. How do you not take the Heat lottery plus points?
Yeah, well, you text me some lottery numbers while you're at it. You're hot as a damn volcano right now. Seriously.
I bought a lottery ticket a couple of weeks ago, and I never checked the numbers. I've done that a few times. It's like sitting in a drawer. I better check the numbers.
Winning tickets sold in Vancouver.
Can you imagine, Taylor,
for a purchaser?
If I had like $62 million and I didn't know, like this whole time.
Just like sitting there, they're like, I gotta start a new one. Nobody claimed the ticket.
No. You know what, guys? No. You would be surprised, though. Like, I go on this thing. There's like, they're looking for this guy in Timmins, Gabe. He might be at the bottom of a lake, but he won the Lotto 649. They're trying to find him. It's like, that's not even a big city. Like, there's a lot of people don't understand unclaimed lottery tickets. It's a huge enterprise. A lot of people just rip them up, lose them in the water.
People lose tickets.
I got a good story for you guys. I got a good story for you guys. One of my best friends in high school, his family won a $10 million lottery when we were seniors in high school.
Wow.
They just bought a ticket at a gas station, won $10 million. It was crazy, and they didn't tell anybody for a really long time. I'm from a really small town in Illinois, and they didn't want anybody to like think it was weird, but they magically like started to move into a new house. Everybody got new cars. We knew something was up, and they won the lottery. It was crazy.
You know what the worst is, Taylor, too? Gabe will tell you, here in Ontario or whatever, when you win, they take pictures of you. I tell the guy, unless it's like for $20,000-$50,000 with a novelty check, that's cool. Nobody's going to come murder me. But the minute you hold up, hey, $6.9 million or whatever, I'm like, I want to be incognito and wear a mask, right, Morency? You shouldn't have to take that photo. I don't like that.
There was a guy in Jamaica. He won the biggest Jamaican lottery ever. It was like $92 million, and he showed up in the Scream mask. Like the movie?
Yes.
He had the Scream mask, he had a hood. He was like, he held the check.
That guy's the best. Yeah,
that's what you do. He was like, no, you're allowed. He said, no one's going to see me, man. I'm not letting anyone know. So he had the Scream mask. It was too good of all masks to wear. He shows up in the Scream movie mask. It's too good.
That is
all awesome. Right, so, I'm looking forward to the Charles Schwab this week, but we'll get to that. So let's get into the baseball right now. Yep. Cam, you're betting on, the White Sox against the Guardians?
Yeah, I take the over in the game, and I took the White
over.
Sox.
Okay.
I had a same game parlay, but some Sands filling in. I didn't want to give him something like crazy. I actually did a same game parlay on this game, but I was too embarrassed to tell you and Taylor that I'm actually betting on these types of games. But yeah, I took the White Sox plus 1.5, Benintendi to have a hit, and over 6.5 runs to plus 143. I do like the over in the game, but I tried to get some plus money with, knocking the total down, getting the White Sox as dogs, and Benintendi, I think, can get a hit in this baseball game, Renzi. Good plus 143 number.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
I'm going to dance with the Texas Rangers, though. The Rangers have won 6 of Dane Dunning's last 8 starts. The Rangers are 6-2 overall in their last 8. Yeah, the Bucks are in a free fall right now, 3-7 in their last 10. Obviously, have cooled off there after that hot start. Ortiz on the hill here tonight. He's only started 2 games. He's got beaten up pretty good in both the games. They're 0-2 in his starts. I'm going to take the Texas Rangers. I'm going to keep it simple tonight, Taylor. Give me the Texas Rangers in this game. Taylor, are you betting this game?
I like it. I am not betting that game. I've got a pair of K props, though. I like the Twins game. They're starting off on a 6-game homestand with the Giants. Minnesota's beginning the series today with righty Bailey Ober on the bump. I'm going to take Ober over 5.5 Ks. Ober's last start against the Dodgers gave Minnesota their first win at Dodger Stadium, get this, since 2005. Ober's 3-0, 178 ERA, 4 consecutive starts with 6 Ks. Ober's breaking balls have been extremely impressive, and he's using his changeup, slider, and curveball as that out pitch, and it's really creating elite chase rates for these batters. I like Ober over 5.5 Ks against San Francisco's squad that has a bottom 5K rate to righties.
Yep. Free swingers.
I'm going to have a strikeout. I'm going to take a strikeout prop in the Philadelphia game. We'll get to that's actually at 6:40 coming up. Cam, are you going to pull the trigger at all on the Texas Rangers and the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Actually, I was looking at Texas, too. Dunning's been on fire. Like, I can't believe his numbers. What's his whip? 0.88? Like, this guy is right now, if you look at the numbers, it's like comeback player of the year stuff. Like, it's sickening. Like, Dane Dunning, what he has done from last year to this season is unbelievable. I know they give him run support, Gabe, but take a look at the numbers. His ERA, it's like a buck and a half, 0.88 whip. Like, he is delivering, man. He's found something. So it's Rangers or nothing against for the Pirates in this one. I actually think maybe an under in the game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of runs with these two pitchers, but I know Texas can be very explosive with their bats, but I do like Dunning. I like your call.
I love that you guys are both on Dane Dunning. I used to call it last season Dane Dunning Day, and I would always take the over on his win. Every game, Dane Dunning Day. Here it is. Good morning. It's Dane Dunning Day. Here it is today. So I like it.
What those days will backfire on you. Good. Yeah,
it's like the people with Patrick Corbin. They're going broke betting against this guy.
Oh no, see, Gabe,
you got to be careful.
That's what I do when I dive in the dumpster. I found a gem in Patrick Corbin. Now he's good. Everyone's like, oh, Corbin blows. Like, that's the thing about baseball, the regression, and guys change, right? Like, it can change over a long period of time. Some guys just figure it out, and Dunning's one of those guys, and Corbin's pitching a hell of a lot better too.
Well, we know the Texas Rangers have bats. But if you look at their overall team ERA right now, they're ranked 8th in Major League Baseball. They have the 8th lowest ERA in baseball, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Suddenly they're getting good pitching. You really have to credit their coaching staff for doing a great job with this staff. I like this Rangers team, and it's a fair price right now at FanDuel for this game. So we're pulling the trigger on it. It's minus 138. First pitch is at 6:35. St. Louis Cardinals, minus 200 favorites, guys, against the Cincinnati Reds. Taylor, I'll throw it to you first. Any opinion on the Cardinals and the Reds game?
I do have an opinion on this game. I'm going to give you another K-prop. What's new with me? It's always going to be a K-prop. I'm taking Jordan Montgomery, St. Louis's starter, over 5.5 Ks as well. I like what I am seeing out of Montgomery, getting a full year here with St. Louis when he came from the trade deadline with the Yankees. He's really cool, calm, collected on the mound now, and we're seeing him do a pretty good job. The Cardinals right now are also hot. The Dodgers couldn't even cool them off, taking 3 of 4 from LA. And on top of that, they've won 8 of their last 10. I like the St. Louis Cardinals right now. They're playing up in that division, trying to get to 500. They're sitting third now above the Cincinnati Reds and my Chicago Cubs, sadly. But I would take the St. Louis Cardinals on the run line and Jordan Montgomery over 5.5 Ks in that game.
Cam, what are you going to do with this Cardinals and Reds game?
It's funny you should mention that, Gabe. I have the Cardinals in a parlay with the Seattle Mariners, the minus 105. And like Taylor, I'm going to take the Cardinals with Mr. Montgomery, minus 1.5 in the spot against the Reds. I think they blow them out tonight. Cardinals playing much better baseball. I like the spot.
I don't want to freak either of you two out. I'm just going to let everybody know the Cardinals have lost Montgomery's last 7 starts. Even though he hasn't been terrible in them, they don't win when he pitches for whatever reason. But, yes, I kind of think that he is, Cam. Yeah, I kind of think he is. The fact that he's playing the Cincinnati Reds, well, I'm just here to give numbers here. I don't make them up. I just report them.
Scary numbers.
From the Yahoo Sportsbook here on TMA on this Thursday. Pam, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Where is your excitement level now that the draw has been released for the action starting at Roland Garros later this weekend?
Do you not see the smile? This is going to be like the most insane French Open because we don't have Nadal, who is literally the king of clay. He does no wrong. And that's just going to open up the gates to literally almost anybody in this field. You have Novak Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz, even the younger players like Holger Rune. There's just so much opportunity here for a lot of these guys. They are salivating at the chance of there's no Nadal. What do? We're just going to go all out and do it.
When the absence of Rafael Nadal is felt at Roland Garros, it does really open up the field because he has 22 Grand Slam titles all-time, tied with Novak Djokovic, who won the 2023 Australian Open for the most ever on the men's side. 14 of those coming with a French Open victory. Pam, it was big news last week when Rafael Nadal announced that he was going to miss this year's French Open. The reigning champ not on the clay in Paris. And it sounds like his future in tennis is a little bit up in the air as well. So, Pam, what do you think is next for Rafa?
I believe that retirement is next. It's on the horizon for Nadal. If you look at what he's done in the last year, this time last year at Roland Garros, if you don't look back and remember, he had injections in his foot daily in order for him to get through and come out with the win. And afterward, we didn't know about that until after he won the French Open. And he was very vocal about, I cannot do this. This is not sustainable. I have to figure out how to become more healthy. And only since then, he's become more injured prone. And now he's been out for a majority. He missed the entire clay season. For the first time, he's missing Roland Garros since 2005. This is a really big deal. This is very solidifying the idea that his body is nowhere near where it used to be. The type of style that he plays is very strong, very powerful. He loves time on court. He is a bull for a reason. He knows he can't do it as he's getting older. I believe retirement in 2024 is, I would say, definitely a huge, huge favorite.
In that announcement as well last week that he would miss this year's French Open, he did allude to the idea that next year's 2024 French Open might be his final Grand Slam at Roland Garros. So, without Rafael Nadal, of course, the focus turns to two heavy hitters in the world of men's tennis. Carlos Alcaraz, the number one player in the world, and Novak Djokovic, looking for his 23rd Grand Slam victory. It would be the most all-time, passing that tie currently with Nadal, for the most ever on the men's side. The draw came out just a little bit ago, Pam, earlier this morning, and Alcaraz and Djokovic on the same side, meaning they would meet in the semifinals, not the championship match, that final match at Roland Garros. So how does the draw of having both Alcaraz and Djokovic on the same side affect your handicap, Pam?
It does not. I took Carlos Alcaraz to win the French Open back in February. And let's just go through that tweet because people were like, I grabbed him at plus 175. You could have grabbed him at plus 225 at some books. I obviously have the worst number of that situation. But the comments on that is way too short. He hasn't proven anything. He hasn't won any big names. Excuse me. He is 20-2 in clay this season. He had one loss just last week in the second round of the Italian Open to a qualifier in straight sets. People freaked out. But you have to look at what Carlos Alcaraz has, yes, done in his last year, but also what he's done this year. He's won 3 of his last 4 tournaments. He won Indian Wells. He made the semifinal in Miami Open, and then he won Barcelona and Madrid back to back. He is the best player in tennis right now. It is a best of 5, definitely changes things. Novak Djokovic, he is the most experienced. He is part of the big 3 for a reason. But he's not coming into this with some good form right now. So you have to give credit where credit is due. And that all fingers point to Alcaraz right now.
So as you mentioned, Pam, and as our associate producer, our tennis guy here, Joe Frizo, points at Carlos Alcaraz, great on clay, already 3 clay titles this year. Alcaraz currently booked as the favorite after the draw came out, a slight movement in the odds. It's plus 155 for Alcaraz, plus 230 for Novak Djokovic. So having both of those players, Pam, on the same side and knowing where the odds are elsewhere, who are a couple of names to know outside of the top 2 of Alcaraz and Djokovic?
Let's go down a little, slightly lower. Holger Rune at 10-1. Since winning the ATP Masters 1000 in Paris in early November, he defeated Djokovic in the final. He's reached the final at ATP Masters 1000 Monte Carlo. He won ATP 250 in Munich last month. That's a clay court event. His style of play, if you watch, it is very similar to that of Djokovic. He has great returns. He's super strong from the baseline. He has a powerful forehand and killer drop shots. He really does. Alcaraz is going to get a lot of the attention because of the achievements that he's done. Holger Rune is kind of right there too, and it's a lot less flash, but he's definitely molding into this superb player that is going to be a force to reckon with. He has the speed, he has the stamina, and that means he can handle long rallies from the baseline, and that's what Roland Garros is. You need to have a strong baseline game. Daniil Medvedev is interesting. I wouldn't say to win the French Open, but I would definitely be considering him to maybe win his quarter. Because, last year he hated clay. This year he may be liking clay a little bit more because he just won the Italian Open, defeating Holger Rune in straight sets. Those conditions were really heavy to his favor. It was cold. It was rainy. That's going to mute the ball a little bit and give it less bounce, which becomes a bigger baseline game. And what does Medvedev do? He is the best baseline game player in the world right now. I would say right there above even Djokovic because of the form that Djokovic is in. So he's interesting to me.
Medvedev winning in Rome, like you mentioned, Pam, and his odds growing a little bit shorter, being on the other side of the draw. It's 9-1 now for Daniil Medvedev instead of 11-1 where it was just a couple of hours ago. So, Pam, you mentioned the success on clay. It's a different playing surface and all that goes into it. In the Masters 1000 events this calendar year, on clay, we see some big names that are trying to carry over their momentum into Roland Garros, both on the men's and women's side. So, Pam, how do you think these results affect things heading into Paris this weekend and throughout the 2023 French Open?
Weather conditions will really play a factor into this. I just mentioned about how in Rome it was cold and rainy. That severely mutes the ball. It's less bounce. It becomes more flat. It's slower. So you need to check the weather first. And I have not done that because the draw just came out a few minutes ago. So if the weather is like a little bit on the warmer side, then it's going to play a little bit of a faster speed. Players like Andrei Rublev will have success with that because they do have like a flat playing style. Carlos Alcaraz, he has a lot of topspin. If you look at Nadal, why is he so dominant at Roland Garros? It favors a heavy topspin player. Carlos Alcaraz has that, and Djokovic has that. There's a few, Rune has that. So there's a few players that it could come if the weather is right. Now, if the weather is cooler, then players like Stefanos Tsitsipas could have a little bit of success. Medvedev could have some success. So weather's going to play a huge part in this week, and I can't wait to check it out and see what's going on.
So now as we go to the other side, the women's championship of the 2023 French Open, Iga Swiatek, a heavy odds-on favorite, already a minus money price at minus 135. Pam, is she your pick to win the women's title at the 2023 French Open?
Zero interest in backing Swiatek to win the French Open. Minus 135. Absolutely, Swiatek is the undisputed favorite, no doubt. She's absolutely dangerous on clay. If you look at her last 27 matches, she's lost just 2 on clay. But in the last 4 years, she's lost only 1 clay match in every season. She's dominant just like Nadal. 42-4 overall on clay. But she just withdrew from the Italian Open from a thigh injury. Before that, she lost the Madrid Open Finals to Aryna Sabalenka. Madrid is faster, yes. Roland Garros is definitely more her speed, but she hasn't shown that she is coming into this with some good form or even good health. So you're laying a minus price to for a lot more volatility from her. I'm not interested in that. Definitely an opportunity to look elsewhere.
Sabalenka and Rybakina tied for the second best price on the women's open board at plus 650 behind Swiatek. So you mentioned the injury that she suffered and what her form looks like heading to Paris. Pam, for her to even win the 2023 Women's French Open without dropping an entire set is plus 410, shorter than the other 2 best prices on the board to win this outright. You're not going to back her at a minus 135 price, Pam, but with 1 minute left in this segment, is she deserving of being an odds-on favorite entering this tournament in Paris?
No, you just mentioned Sabalenka and even Rybakina. Rybakina herself is coming off a win at the Italian Open. She's 7-1 on clay this season. Granted, some of them were helped by walkovers, but she has momentum coming into this. Since July, she has 2 Grand Slam finals, 3 WTA 1000 finals, and her play is so underrated because she has a very muted personality. She has the skill set to contend here, and she's coming into this with some rhythm. And you're getting plus 650 for her at worst. I would be looking further down the board. And if I'm wrong about Swiatek, absolutely kudos to her. But she's just not coming into this with the form to lay a minus money. Like I mentioned, this is a great opportunity to take a shot at somebody like Rybakina at 6.5 to 1.
Coco Gauff, the shortest price for an American in the 2023 Women's French Open, odds at 30 to 1. Pam Maldonado from the Yahoo Sportsbook, breaking down everything you need to know for the 2023 French Open. Pam, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Back to the NBA playoffs around the association up next.